Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I wish all of you a fantastic start of the week because yes, it is Monday, but not only. It's also the day after the end of Matchday 8 in Serie A, and we will speak about it because there were a lot of surprising results. And then we are already dreaming, thinking about the next game, the Bianconeri. Juventus against Milan. The Rossoneri, for the very first time this season, are alone on top of Serie A after 8 match games over Inter. That is not first anymore for the first time in Serie A this season. We have to speak about that, but unfortunately I have a bad news. And what is the bad news? International break, because we will have to wait 2 weeks before seeing our boys back on the field. Annoying? Absolutely yes. It is crazy annoying, but it is what it is. Luckily, I also have good news. The good news is that during this international break, there will be some activities, a lot, starting already today with a kind of new way of showing the museum. We will speak about that towards the end of the video, but also tomorrow, a fantastic black and white night. An opportunity to be all together, shown on television in Italy, and for the people that are not living in Italy, the Juventini of the world, well, I have extremely good news because tomorrow on the YouTube channel of Juventus, not only you will see my face commenting the game, but I will also be able to show you the game, to offer you the game of legends. Del Piero, Zidane, Davids, Marchisio. Think about a crazy legend, they will be there. Fantastic. So tomorrow I give you really a meeting there on Juventus YouTube channel because it will be a night where all of us Juventini will be together. If you didn't yet, please maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because now it's time to open the pages. And we start with the kind of mini surprising recap of Serie A with Corriere dello Sport that is speaking about Roma and Mourinho. We will come back on them in a second. But then about the, according to some people, crazy result of yesterday, Italiano and his Fiorentina being able to beat Napoli in their stadium, the Maradona Stadium. Garcia è nel caos. Garcia is in chaos because at the moment, for all the people that were dreaming about seeing an opening of a cycle for Napoli, well, at the moment it is absolutely not that. Yesterday it was an important game for Juventus between Napoli and Fiorentina because we were waiting to see who would have reached us at the third position of Serie A. At the moment we know that it is Fiorentina. The game against Milan will even be more important if we know that we are playing against Milan, Fiorentina against Empoli. Empoli that at the moment won only once in Serie A, so it has to be a game where Juventus will try to win against Milan, to stick there, to be there. So epic game, but we'll have to wait and we have time for that game. What other results were surprising yesterday? Well, Roma, that if they didn't win yesterday against Cagliari, well, Mourinho could have risked and could have been out. Lazio being able to win finally and winning important game against Atalanta 3-2. And then we have that surprising Frosinone that continues to win. Surprising team, absolutely yes. Surprising player, Matias Soulé. For certain people, yes, because some of us, Juventini, were already giving up on Matias Soulé, the ex-number 30 of Juve that became the new number 18 of Frosinone. For people that do not know, 18 in memory of the grandmother that passed away a few weeks ago. Matias Soulé, not only the goal, third goal in Serie A, second with the yellow shirt, but the third goal in Serie A with a header. I remember only one player that was able to score that much with a header, and it was Oliver Bierhoff. The people from the 80s, from the 90s, they will remember him. For the young people, go on the internet and try to find how many goals Bierhoff scored with a header. Crazy. Anyway, unlucky Soulé that was able yesterday not only to score, but he was able to touch twice the post. A performance with a big A. What a performance. What a guy. Then I saw some comments of you guys. But for Allegri, he was not ready. But Allegri never launched him last year, etc., etc. You know how much I liked Matias Soulé. Matias Soulé, fantastic player that I'm following since the youth academy system. And I will tell you something. I don't believe that he would have had the same chances this season with Juventus if he would have remained. Why? Because first of all, we are not playing the best football for him. He loves to be in that kind of 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 or whatever, going from the right side and going to the center to use his left foot, or in this case his header, entering the box. But we are playing that 3-5-2 that is limiting Matias Soulé. Then you will tell me, but then it's over, because if Max stays also next year, well, we continue with that 3-5-2. The good news I have is the fact that this summer we were looking all summer long, according to some Mercato voices, for a player called Berardi. A Berardi that is not a 3-5-2 player. So the intention of Juventus with a proper Mercato, and maybe that increase of capital of 200 million will help us a bit to go towards a change of formation in maybe January, maybe next season, going with 4 men in the back and maybe 3 players on the front. Well, Matias Soulé could have his chance next season at Juventus, especially after continuing to do what he's doing since the beginning of the season, means playing with personality, having his chance with continuity, and that's fantastic. I'm super happy for him, especially if we are listening to the words of Di Francesco, that is yesterday comparing Soulé to Berardi. And if we know that Di Francesco was the coach of Sassuolo and now he's the coach of Frosinone, who better than him can really put a label on Soulé, saying he reminds me of Domenico Berardi. So according to me, does it make sense to put some money on the table to go for Berardi when you have already a player that is yours, that you already own? No. Calma, tranquillo, let him grow this season, take him back toward the 3 men in offense. Maybe, who knows, Dusan Vlahovic, Federico Chiesa and Matias Soulé. Would be nice, but that's the future. Speaking about yesterday, the 4-1 of Mourinho, ragazzi, Lukaku already a few goals this season with Roma. He never started that well in Serie A. In terms of all competition, I believe he already scored 7 goals, which is totally crazy. You know, I'm not regretting at all that we didn't sign Lukaku. You know it, we already spoke about it on the channel. Super happy that we kept Dusan Vlahovic, but maybe it's important to say to all the people that were already maybe a bit exaggerating and too early, saying that it was a finished player, a disaster of a player, the worst striker on earth. Well, ragazzi, yesterday was again fantastic. They won 4-1 with the only negative news for Mourinho and co was that injury at the 40-minute from Paulo Dybala, a player that is fantastic in terms of technical qualities, a pleasure to watch, but unfortunately made of glass. Yesterday injury, they were worried because they were thinking really that it was a distortion to the knee and that he could have missed several months. This morning, good news for him because it will be a few weeks and he should be back towards the end of October. And you know it, whatever player, I'm always wishing them the best in terms of health, that they are healthy so that we can face also the best possible team. That's what I wish. Players and teams that are complete, and then we see who is the best. And especially if a player like Dybala, with the history and the link that he has with Juventus, I can only wish him to be back strong as soon as possible. But what is now the new ranking of Serie A telling us? Well, we see that Milan is first, Inter second, Juventus third, and they will reach with Fiorentina at that third place, both of them 17 points, followed by Napoli, Atalanta. At the end of Serie A, we see Cagliari and Salernitana, both of them not able to win a game at the moment. Why am I speaking about the 2 last ones of Serie A? Because you know it, and last year we played against a team that never won in Serie A, Monza, and I don't want them to play against Juve thinking we can do it, we can go for our first win in Serie A. So I don't remember when Salernitana and Cagliari will play against Juve, but I hope it will be as far as possible so that they can already reach their first team. But why am I annoyed with that ranking of Serie A? Because Gazzetta dello Sport is showing Milan stellato with Pulisic, not with the handball that we already spoke about in the video of yesterday. If you didn't yet, it's interesting, go back to the video of yesterday. But because of that American philosophy, that American players that they have in Milan with that new Mercato, fantastic Milan, grande papapi, papapapapo, I'm pissed off. Of course I am pissed off because we know it. Milan didn't qualify for Champions League. They finished 5th. Juventus finished 3rd in Serie A. Juventus had right of these million to go on the Mercato to strengthen the team. So it was not able. Milan received it. They were able to sell Tonali plus the money of Champions League. They were able to rearrange the team, bring back these players like Musa, like Pulisic, like Loftus-Cheek, and so on, and now they are first in Serie A. My dream, it will not happen, ragazzi, calma, it will not happen, but my dream would be that we are going in a head-to-head against Milan until the end of the season, and at the end we are able to take back with interest what we are awarded last season. That means not going only in Champions League, but winning the Scudetto against Milan, going back to the season 2011-2012. Maybe I'm dreaming too much, probably yes, but if today I am dreaming, it's also because of some results that we were able to do on the field. Because if 2 years ago, the first comeback of Allegri, we had 14 points. Last year we had 13 points. This season we have 17 points. So we see an improvement. For the people that are saying, Beppe, we see no improvement in the third season of Allegri, it's not totally correct, because in terms of points we're already doing better. In terms of goals, 12 goals scored in 2021, 12 goals scored in 22-23, sorry, and this season we are already at 14. So more goals scored, more points for Allegri, for Juventus of Allegri. So we see some improvement, especially if we know that the last 2 games were without Dusan Vlahovic. We can even say the last 3 games. And also the last game against Torino in the Derby della Mole, we were playing without Dusan, without Federico Chiesa. So we see some improvements. Gazzetta dello Sport is writing in their title, Signora al max, la signora, old lady at the max, referring to Max Allegri, more goals, more points, and with Dusan and with Federico Chiesa, they can dream. The Bianconeri can dream of something more than top 4. Well, the good news is that Dusan Vlahovic will not go with Serbia for the international break. He will remain in La Continassa in the Juve training center with one objective in mind, that big game against Milan. And that's, according to me, a fantastic news. Because we have to score, we have to score, we have to score. And I don't care if it's only on set pieces, because I hear the stories of people saying, but we score only on set pieces, we are not able to score in another way than set pieces. I went back to check a bit the stats of the set pieces scored until match day 8. Juventus is not first, they are 4th at the moment, because there are 3 teams that were able to score more on set pieces. Inter, Frosinone and Napoli with 5 goals each. Juventus is there, 3rd or 4th or whatever you want to, with 4 goals scored on set pieces. The penalty of Dusan Vlahovic, the goal after a corner kick of Danilo, and then the last 2 goals that we scored in the last game of Derby della Mole. We conceded 0 goals of set pieces, the best team in Italy in terms of that specific stat of not conceding from set pieces. So, you know, the stories of we never score more than only set pieces, when you're looking at the fact, it's not actually true. And I tell you, and I repeat you, if Inter is able to score from set pieces, Frosinone, Napoli, why would Juventus be ashamed of scoring from set pieces? I don't understand that logic. Anyway, what we know is that we have to continue to score, because we need to go towards that dream. And more and more and more, we are winning these little battles. Because to convince someone that something is working, you can't convincing immediately with the final objective. You have to go with step by step by step, convincing him that that little step is important, that second step is important, that third one, that fourth one. And that's where we are going with Max Allegri and Juventus management, Giuntoli, Scanavino, and now all the players also speaking to the papers. They told us the minimal objective is top 4. In December, we will see where we are. In March, we see where we are. And from there, if we are able to, well, we continue to dream. We continue to desire to do something more than only top 4. And this is what Max Allegri is doing with the team, a team that is following more and more Max Allegri, because they see on the field, being 3rd at 2 points of Inter and 4 points of Milan, that at the moment it's working. Is it perfect? No, but we still believe in what we are doing. But of course, the company, the club, Juventus, Elkan, we want trophies. Playing well, absolutely, said by Giuntoli, said by everyone, but also winning trophies. After the 2 years without winning any trophies, that's what we want. Winning trophies again as soon as possible. And Tuttosport is showing the first page with La Juve fa spazio per nuovi trofei. Juventus is making space for new trophies. And today, for the people, the lucky ones that are in Torino, they could possibly see the inauguration of the remodeled Museum of Trophies of Juve. Is it temporary? I believe so. But they will put in the picture the last 10 years of trophies that we won from all the teams that we have. First team, Juventus Women, Next Gen. They will show all the trophies, but they will also leave a blank space for the future trophies. Something that is really important, because at Juventus you are never satisfied. And it's clearly the intention of John Elkann that we heard at multiple times in the last few days, that yes, I believe in Juve. Yes, I'm ready to reinvest money to give them a bit of breath. The plan is to go back to a model that was the one of 12 or 11, 12, when we started again thinking about sustainability, but still being competitive, that's what we want. And I believe it, but I want to bring Juventus back to the top of Italian football and then possibly also in Europe. We have another player that we have to speak about. It is Gatti, the man of the Derby della Mole, the man that is starting his name with the letter G, like GJustjuve, but also like Grinta. Well, they are nearly there to announce in a few days, maybe in a few weeks, but they are nearly there to announce his extension. An extension that is a reward for what he already showed, but also an extension that is also the example of how Juventus is thinking about sustainability. He has a contract until 2026, if I'm not wrong, at 1 million per year, and he would go towards that 1.4, 1.5. The times that players were doing a good season and receiving triple what they were earning is over. You will be increased, you will be rewarded, but calma, tranquillo, because Juventus has to think about sustainability. Happy for Federico Gatti. Now, I want to speak about the last thing. It's a question that you have to answer, because we spoke a lot about Olivier Giroud in the goal of Milan, doing that fantastic, beautiful save, and giving them that victory at the end of the game. You know, I was thinking, if, and I hope it will not happen, but if this scenario would happen in a Juve game, with the team that we have today, who is the player that you put in the goal from Juve? I have my answer. I will not spoil it today. I will spoil it tomorrow. But I'm curious to see the people that were here until the end of the video. What will be the answer of them? Is it this player, this player, this player? Let me know in the comment. Don't forget, while you're writing, put that thumb up. Continue to subscribe. Grazie, forza. Juve.